So, Yvonne, you are about to embark on what is essentially a solo mission into the lion's den, so to speak.
Okay.
Now, before we start, I do need to have a quick conversation with you because you took a short rest and we didn't really go through the implications of that during the adventure. So we're going to have to handle that really quick. I'm still loading up Roll20. Why is Tori in here?
Is Tori in here?
She's in the Roll20. I don't know why. Okay. So at this point in time, you are on 6 health, and you have none of your cell slots. So,
no.
Going forward, generally, we want to rectify that.
Well, I took the short rest, though, right?
Yeah. So that's what I mean when I say we have to rectify that.
Oh, okay.
So, you know how hit die work, right?
What do you mean?
Those are how you regenerate health on a short rest. You can spend hit die to roll the die, which for you is d8, and then add your constitution, which for you is +3. And that determines how much health you get back. Right now, since you're level 3, you have 3 hit die that you can draw from. But the way they work is you get them back. You get back hit die depending on how many you've used. So, for instance, every long rest you get back half your hit die, okay? So, since you're at level 3, is that round enough or rounded down? I'm gonna go find out. It doesn't say, so I'm just gonna round it up for now. So, on a long rest, you can get back 2 of any hit die you spend, and they're d8s +3 because of Constitution. So, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright, then you have to roll d8s. Remember, you have 3 and you get back 2 on a long rest. So you can use all 3, but if you do, you won't get them all back on your next long rest. So it'll take 2 long rests. It is essentially a resource you can use on the short rests. So the first one's a 2. 2 + 3 is 5. You're on 11. The next one's a 3. 3 + 3 is 6. You're on 17. And you do technically have 1 more if you want to use it. But then you will only get back 2 on your next long rest.
Well, hopefully I'm gonna avoid combat, so maybe I won't need 2.
Alright.
Can I do this at any time?
No, only on short rests.
Like, only, like, waking up from short rest?
Yeah, you have to just take a full hour if you want to do it.
You know what? I'll do it. Fuck it. Swish. Oh, baby.
That one is 8, which puts you up to a total of 25 health going into this.
I hope I don't meet a wacky ensemble of characters along the way.
Alright, so Yvonne, you, as you know, realized after escaping the grasp of Volkmar, a powerful and aggressive tactician in the conspiracy, a rebellion against the Black Hand, that you had forgotten Aurora, another member of your crew, with essentially a young adult with the mentality of a, let's call it, 5-year-old, and near invincibility due to a curse placed on her by her long-standing ancestor. So, in an attempt to rescue her from that fate, you struck out alone, having haste parked the ship and sneaking back towards the fortress, in hopes of rescuing her and essentially avoiding the conflict altogether. So, you continued to travel throughout that night, essentially avoiding anyone you saw. There were a few times where you might have come across someone you believed to be a conspiracy patrol, but generally, it didn't seem like they'd really spread out their men just yet. So, with that, you eventually came across a harbor that you'd been at before, this small, semi-concealed harbor where you had watched Volkmar stand on as your ship slowly sailed away. The same harbor you pulled into and parked the ship at for this adventure. So, as you step onto the harbor, you can see the conspiracy in the distance, the last hints of fire slowly being snuffed out as it's enveloped in a very dim, more controlled light than the way you left it. Knowing this is the only way forward, you began your trek towards the conspiracy building. And that's where we're going to begin. So,
Okay.
what are we doing here?
Okay. So, Yvonne is just like, okay, Yvonne. This is certainly weird doing something for other people, but we're gonna do it. All right. And all right. And then I'm gonna disguise myself as the rock guy that I met at the fucking at the cafeteria, and I remind myself that I like check to like eyeball about what time it is at like the moon, and remember that I only have 1 hour.
Well, here's the deal, right? Mask of Many Faces, the invocation, lets you cast Disguise Self at will. So technically, as long as you have the time to speak the verbal and somatic components, you can recast it whenever you want.
Really?
So you don't have an hour, essentially.
So I can do that forever?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Now, the other thing that's important to note about Disguise Self is it's an illusion. So if you change your like general body shape or height, if someone like tries to pass their hand through it, it will not stand.
Oh, well, I try and do some, like, I try and, like, fit, like, my form, but, like, look differently.
Okay, so if you're dressing like him, I assume you're putting on the general conspiracy garb, the brown jacket, brown boots. Some of them wear white and brown bandanas if you want to go that route. And you would need the insignia, which is the closed fist straight down.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So with that, as you speak the words and you hold out your hand and you almost close it in a fist, you feel the arcane sense of Baltazzo fill you. Now I'm gonna be real here. Since it's just you and me, and if we ever do like use any of this, it'll be like at the end of the campaign. I'm going to be very liberal with the fact that you work for Baltazzo in this session.
Okay.
So, with the arcane influence of Baltazzo shaping your form, you feel yourself almost engulfed in shadow, and as it slowly recedes, your body has taken on a new form, the illusory visage of the odd, overly optimistic stone-cutting man you encountered before. You've adopted that visage, discarding your own for this time, as you currently stand, I'd say about... The walk up to the Conspiracy Citadel is about half an hour, maybe 20 minutes if you're walking fast. If you want to make a survival check, you can try to get a time.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a -2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nope. You look up at the moon and it's nothing. You cannot discern the time.
Okay. And also, I'm gonna mention this now. Yvonne keeps an eye out for the rock guy in fear of wacky hijinks that may be hurled his way in the near future. So am I just like walking?
Yes. Are you being stealthy, or are you just approaching?
I think I'm just trying. I'm trying to like slip by without being seen, but I'm not putting too much effort into it.
Okay, well, make a stealth check.
Okay, so like I'm trying to be like kind of quiet, you know.
All right.
Oh, I'm just rolling fantastic.
As you walk up the path, your eyes are suddenly consumed with a bright light shining right at you as you have to shield your face for a second. The light slowly dims as you watch a man wearing the normal conspiracy garb, but with arcane sigils, essentially curving down a long brown staff he holds in front of you. He holds out his hand and the light dims in front of you, the result of a light spell, as 2 more men approach you, each wearing the general conspiracy garb. They look straight at you, and one of them kind of roughly grabs you. What the hell exactly are you doing out here, with all this shit going down?
I was just out for my evening stroll. What's going on?
Didn't you see? The bonfire? Everything that just went down?
I saw the bonfire. I was just heading there.
So you're telling me, instead of celebrating Founders Day with the rest of us, you just went out for a stroll?
Well, yeah, it's been a rough year for me with my wife dying and... What?
They can make a deception check.
Okay, that's still a 9.
I know. He gives you kind of a long pause and kind of like runs his eyes up and down you. You haven't changed your body shape too much to fit this man, so it isn't that obvious of an illusion. And as his hand kind of wraps around you, his hands kind of goes through your disguise a bit, but because of the low light conditions, he can't really tell.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to make. Let me pull up this guy's self again. What's your spell save DC?
I don't know. Where do I find that?
It's under spells, or it's above your spells.
Spells. 14.
Okay. You give him disadvantage because of the low light conditions. Alright. Disadvantage didn't even matter. He does not see through the disguise, despite looking pretty close and seeming to tell there's something off with you. Get the hell back there. And be lucky I didn't dock you any position for this.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Stupid. Seems to mutter something as he kind of continues down the path with the mage in tow, slowly patrolling, looking for anyone who seems to be approaching back up the path.
Yvonne smirks as he walks away.
With that, you eventually reach the imposing form of the gates, much more heavily locked down than before. 10 guards are positioned on the gate, watching for any sign of intruder. They see you approach and instinctively draw their weapons.
Is there a problem?
Guess not. Alright. Head in, but go back to bed. Take the time, just be wandering about. And you watch as the gate slowly opens and you're allowed inside. As you walk into the front yard of the conspiracy building, you are forced to look at the wreckage that you and your friends wrought over this place. There's a massive bonfire, only half burned at this point. The other half has been extinguished in water and thrown about. Scattered logs are still ablaze as men carrying buckets move from the kitchen to the yard, throwing it on the fire, attempting to put it out as the flames nearly envelop half of the yard in front of you. Meanwhile, others are just kind of unable to more directly help with the fire, just kind of standing about, arguing, yelling at each other. Many are heading back towards the barracks to head to sleep. Others still look for any way to be useful or just act aggressively with each other, pushing each other around. There is a very turbulent and on-edge mood after the conspiracy has just been attacked. You do not, conveniently enough for you, see any signs of Volkmar, the half-orc, or anyone else you might have encountered throughout the journey.
Do I see, like, Aurora or anything?
You do not see Aurora. Actually,
No, I do.
make a perception check.
Ooh.
Do you have proficiency in perception? Like, what's the modifier there?
I know. Perception. Oh no, it's -2.
That's -2. You do not see her.
I start heading towards the barracks, just towards like where she was sleeping.
Alright. As you walk towards the barracks, you essentially fall in line with a larger group of conspiracy men, slowly trotting there late at night. dark circles under their eyes. You head through the antechamber and the hallway, left nearly untouched, through the banquet hall, where the normally positive attitude has been essentially replaced with a dark, more grim outlook. As you walk through the dining hall, however, you feel someone essentially put their hand on your shoulder and pull you back as they kind of look at you. Hey! Don't go away now, it's just about to start.
What's about to start?
Didn't you hear Volkmar's announcement? He's going to explain what the hell happened out there.
I'll tell you what happened. Some hooligans ruined Founder's Day. Damn shame if you ask me. I'm going to bed.
Hey. It is important. We need to be strong after a disaster like this.
Yeah, well, I'll be right there. I need to wash up first.
Make a persuasion check. I guess this is still deception because you're still deceiving him. Make a deception. It's the same modifier.
You are deceived.
Alright, he's going to make another investigation check on you.
Why am I rolling so poorly? I have not gotten above a 10 tonight.
Alright, he looks you over once again, just looking for any, I guess, discrepancy with you, any sign of you being some kind of intruder, something off about you. He doesn't see anything, but his hand remains on your shoulder. You know, spirit is important at a time like this. But back before the Cataclysm, I used to be a middle school principal, and, you know, the kids, they would always want to head home and play with their stones and play games outside with their stones. I said no, because you gotta have spirit. Because you don't have spirit, what else do you have, you know? These lives we lead, so separated. It's crazy how a demonic cataclysm could somehow make us less connected, you know?
Well, I guess when you put it that way, I follow him.
Alright.
I just don't want to make too much of a scene.
Yeah. You stand once again in the unfamiliar terrain of the banquet hall, alone this time, without any of your friends to guide you, and something... When you first came here, there was a sense of hope in your heart as you enjoyed the good food and the company of Volkmar, but now all you feel is regrets as you look over this place and remember the things you did in here that, to this day, you still worry went a little too far. And as you stand waiting, you watch as a man slowly approaches the podium. As he stands at the top overlooking the crowd, there's something different about him than when you last saw him. He's, for one, heavily beaten and bruised. He's no longer angry, so he's shifted back to his smaller form. He still towers over you, of course, but he isn't the monster that he was last night. His normally flowing brown hair has been frayed and tattered, and the uniform he once wore so proudly is essentially torn in half. He looks much more disheveled and bloody, yet when you stare at him, there's still an awe-inspiring presence about him. It's a mixture of being impressed by his stature and being afraid of it. So there's something about him you can't place, where he somehow manages to balance these two extremes. As he stares at each and every one there, he slowly draws the long black sword that you felt the stinging blow of earlier that day. And he looks over all of them. The man looks over each and every one of you. For a second, you feel as though his eyes are lingering on you, but they pass by you just as soon, and you reassure yourself there's no way he could possibly know you were there. Well, there's no need to hold back now. We all saw it. We all saw the chaos that was wrought out there, and I would like to let you all know that it's perfectly alright to be afraid after what just happened. I like to say that you should always have a home here, and you should be free of the persecution of the Black Hands, but truly I can never guarantee it. Where there is persecution and slavery, there will always be those who support it. directly or not. Those men you saw last night, they may look like us and sound like us, but they are not us. They support those who wish to tear us down, who wish to reinstate the soul-birth kingdom of old. I made a vow to each and every one of you long ago that I would not let that happen. And I choose to stand by that vow, and there's a faint cheer that runs over the crowd at this point. You've heard a cheer like this before, but during the Founders' Day celebration it was filled with pride, and there's just a hint of reluctance in it now. Volkmar senses it too as he continues. I understand that what many of you saw out there was not what you would like to see out of a leader, and for that I truly must apologize. But I've always believed that being a leader is a matter of balancing the order and the chaos, the anger and the strict guidelines of a man on the verge of law and order. I understand that after what happened tonight, many of you may be afraid working under me, but I guarantee whatever you saw out there would never be directed at you. That anger is reserved for those who wish to tear us down, to take themselves and put them on a pedestal far above those of us who work to gain our positions. There's something despicable about a man in support of the Soulbirth Kingdom, whether they wish to end this cataclysm or not. I guarantee you, if the cataclysm ends and the oppression remains, then any good that comes from the end of this flood will be for nothing, as we will still be shackled, if not by fear of the demon lords and fear of an oppressive kingdom. Those who work against us must ask themselves whether the world they wish to bring about is one that they can truly live in, with the knowledge that they will be free from any real oppression. I believe if they truly examined the Soulbirth Kingdom and what it would mean to continue with their vows, they would find that those of us who stand with the conspiracy are braver, stronger, and more able-minded than they shall ever be. And with that, there's a roaring cheer. He spot many people who had previously been a bit wounded and shaken regain some of their composure under Volkmar's words. The man certainly has presence, and I guarantee you, when this is all over, when we've repaired our base, we will take the position we always meant to have amongst these seas. We will take on new heights. We will slay the Black Hand and the Blackguard and the Iron Hook Pirates. And we will take on the position we were always meant to have as the leading force, as the new era of human peace and prosperity, of dwarves, of half-orcs, of all those who were oppressed by the Soulbirth Kingdom. And we will finally have the world that I promised you all those years ago. And he lifts up his hand in a closed fist, as those around you do as well, and a loud cheer, like an earthquake. At first low and soft, but slowly growing until it's shaking the foundation of the very building you stand in. With that, Volkmar puts down his fist, and he slowly staggers back towards the barracks, and slowly everyone around you follows.
Yvonne starts to worry that maybe he should have killed him before.
Alright.
Yvonne decides to go to the barracks with everyone to see what else he's going to say and what he's planning.
Well, as you head through the hallway, you eventually head crowded, pushing and shoving your way through the hall, as many others follow suit into the barracks. You see everyone slowly going to sleep, and Volkmar is not outside. It seems whatever speech he was going to make has been made.
Damn. Alright, well I start heading towards where I remember Aurora sleeping, or where we were all kinda.
You head towards where you remember Aurora being, and you find the bed empty.
Are there any clues as to where she could have gone? Did she leave anything?
No. Aurora doesn't seem to necessarily carry too much on her at all times.
Yvonne decides. Fuck. Alright, Yvonne decides to go check if she might be in the dungeon.
Alright. So, you open the door. You were not unconscious when they moved you out of the dungeon, so you do remember where it is. As of right now, it is currently... As right now, as you head out of the barracks, it's the first door to the west. So, do you head through?
Yeah, I do. Like, sneakily.
Alright, make a stealth check.
No, fuck you asshole. Damn it, I knew it. Right.
That's still plus, like, 1, right? Or maybe plus 3. What's the number?
I need a physical. I might print this out. Stealth is plus 3.
Alright, so that's 7. Alright. You slowly grip the cold handle of the door, and you open it, and it just opens with a... And you just... You do not stop. In one long motion, the door opens, making that sound the whole way, and you examine the room in front of you. Inside of the room is the scattered remaining equipment of anyone once captured by Volkmar, just in a pile. You know, for instance, that your own cloak of useful items, which you lost in the ensuing fight, and the 2 healing potions would be here.
I thought Lucas took them.
You don't know that.
Oh, I don't know that. I look for it.
Well,
where is it?
Well, give it a second. Because the other things you see in the room, for one, besides Volkmar's desk and the maps, are Aurora. Not tied up. She's essentially just sitting in a chair, staring off, and as she looks at you, there's absent-minded failure of recognition, and she looks you over and looks back, goes back to what she was doing, staring off in the distance, makes no real assumption of who you are as a person.
Aurora!
And the other thing you see in the room, sitting in a chair, staring right at you as you enter, is Volkmar. The hell are you doing in here?
Me? I was just,
Never mind it. Doesn't matter. Well, you got anything to say?
Yes, I believe that I was chatting with this young woman earlier, and I came to look for her to finish our conversation.
Huh. Go ahead. Just don't take her anywhere. It's been a long night.
Don't take her anywhere. Why is that?
What's your name?
My name is Gibble Stumbleston.
Your deception check.
I think with advantage because I'm really funny. He thinks my name is Gibble.
Well. As you say the name, it rolls off your tongue like butter, and he just kind of like looks at you strange for a second, but just kind of goes on. Well, Gibble, what was that?
Gibble Scumpinshire.
Gibble Scumpinshire.
Don't worry about the last name. It's impossible. No one ever gets it.
What's the first name then?
Just Gibble.
Alright, Gibble. You have a good Founder's Day, Gibble?
Well, you know, I saw the bonfire, and well, you know how I would feel about that, but you know, your speech, I have to say, really did save the day.
Sure it did.
What's wrong, Volk?
Sorry, but I don't particularly know you very well. If you have something to say to the girl, go ahead and say it.
would you mind if it's private? I know that you said not to take her out, but
I don't know if I can do that. She may be very important to events going forward.
Why is that?
What's your job around here, Gibble?
Well, I help. You know, I used to, I used to, I used to stand guard, but ever since my injury a few years ago, I've been helping the chef.
Yeah. Why don't you keep doing that and let me keep my business to my own? Enjoy this place while you can, he says, slowly, like turning back to his desk. We'll likely be shipping out of here next morning, if not sooner.
Oh, where to?
The open sea. Can't risk those buffoons heading to the Old Black Hand and attempting to sell us out for cash or influence. I understand your concern, Gibble, but I'm quite adept at keeping that rage inside me until it's useful most of the time. You don't have anything to worry about.
Well,
I don't.
you know, I know there's a lot to be angry about, a lot to be sad about, but you know, back in my day, when I was a school principal, everyone liked to throw stones. And you know, I think the Cataclysm is making us less connected. I mean, come on, it's Founders Day, and I pull some alcohol out of my pocket, and I offer some to him.
Make a persuasion check. With advantage, I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. Why with advantage? Ooh.
As you take out the glass, as you take out the alcohol, he just kind of takes it from you, and he pours himself a glass as he sits next to you. Ugh. Next time I see them, I'm going to fucking kill them.
Well, I truly feel the same way. I saw you really took a beating out there, but you're a good fighter. I wouldn't want any other kind of leader than you.
Yeah. Thanks. Good to know.
Yeah, I've taken quite a few beatings in my lifetime, but you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's what they say.
I suppose so.
Oh well, I know so. The next time you run into those hooligans, you'll strangle them. I know.
Are you aware of what happened with the Firebrand Pirates?
No. What happened?
They recently separated from Ironhook and took on their own organization. I think they call her Sparks. It's the name of the woman who took over. Okay, it's a long story, but from what I've heard, the leader's dead, and this woman Sparks has taken over, and they've separated from Ironhook, and it's indiscriminate what they do. They just kill and take, and essentially cause destruction. If I didn't know any better, I'd think it was the Demon Lord.
Oh. Wait. He's talking about fucking the thing that we did, right?
No.
Oh.
The new leader of the Firebrand Pirates is... Well, it's a woman. I haven't met her. She's Sparks. That's what they call her. She seems dangerous. That's all I know. What I'm trying to say here, and Gibble, don't repeat this, is... Things are getting more complicated as of late. There's... Well, I'm sure you've heard of the Spire.
Actually, I haven't. Old Gibble never really. The news never gets around to Old Gibble.
People, the celestial spires down to the south supposedly predicts the future. People have been there and come back talking about some kind of destruction that's supposed to happen, and with the Black Hand and the Iron Hook pirates trying to separate, and with the Black God pirates increasing their attacks, with the Firebrand Pirates separating from the Iron Hook pirates, and just massacring people, it's all beginning to go to shit.
And you really think that, you really believe in all this reading the future stuff?
All I know is that bad things are happening, and what they've been saying is something very bad is meant to happen soon. If we don't put a stop to Iron Hook soon, I don't know exactly what they're going to do. Hell, I hear that's why the Black Hand and Iron Hook are supposed to be separating. Whatever's happening there, people begin to suspect foul play, and a captain of theirs, Steelwire. Don't know how you could trust her. It always seems like she's up to something. You know, she never shows her face.
I pour him another glass, and I take some more myself.
What kind of leader doesn't show their face? Stupid!
Oh, yeah.
As Volker continues to drink heavily, he's beginning to get a bit more visibly drunk. Like, what are you doing? Your face is there for a reason. You know?
I know. They could never. No one could ever truly be as good a leader as you are.
And you know, fuck Yvonne. Fuck that guy. He's stupid.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that.
You know Yvonne?
The handsome, charismatic, funny, and cool one. Yeah, I saw him. Boy seemed to take a liking to you.
You don't know him. You don't know him at all. When the time came, he couldn't follow through with anything. Couldn't follow through. So he wants to kill the Demon Lord. How is he going to kill the Demon Lord if he can't kill an elf?
He seems to be very powerful, and I mean, he really, he's done a lot, you know?
Why are you so interested in what Yvonne's doing?
Well, you know,
Need another drink.
I pull out like a whole nother bottle.
Stupid. Constitution. See, okay, he's fine. Things are getting bad. You know that.
Yeah, I can tell, but
Politics.
You know, there are some people who maybe are going to make things right, like Yvonne maybe. I don't know why you hate him
Can't
so
make
much.
things right. You kill the Demon Lord, what's that gonna do? We're all still in the same place. Less demons, but the real problem is all these people. What are you gonna do? They're all in the same place still. To fix the problem, you shove everyone in the same place. What do you expect to happen?
Yeah, I know, but you know, like people make mistakes, but they can fix those. That's what mistakes are for. You know, if you did something wrong, then that doesn't make you a bad person.
You sound just like her, Roxelyn.
Oh,
You think?
Hope not.
You think people can just fix things? They can't. Iron Hook, Black God, they didn't. They showed up because of the Cataclysm, sure, but the reason they exist isn't because of some water that showed up. It's deeply ingrained in our heads. No one's seen the Demon Lord. People say he manipulates from behind the shadows or whatever. But you know what I think? I think all this animosity was already there before the Cataclysm, and you just put everyone in the same place, you get rid of the rules, and that's what they're gonna do. All this shit and enslaving and destruction, it's not. This ain't new. It's like soul birth all over again. It's in these people's blood to destroy and conquer and enslave. They're not just gonna stop because you throw a bunch of demons at them.
Well, I don't think people are the problem. If anything, it's the like Baltazo. It's not like people's fault. You know, they can fix things.
It's the problem. 5 demon lords show up and destroy the world. People think it's easy to just blame them, but it was our fault. We were warned. All they did was flood the place. There's only one of him. If we really wanted to kill him, we would have by now. The reason we haven't killed the Demon Lord isn't because he's too powerful or no one can find him. It's because we don't want to. This is just the natural state of the world. He takes another, just even longer drink. And you watch as his eyes begin to droop as he just kind of looks at you and he's like, this whole thing's stupid. Too many pirates. And he just kind of falls over, asleep on the table.
So he's like blackout drunk,
yeah.
Right? So okay. Yvonne starts by going up to Aurora and being like, Aurora, it's me, Yvonne. I'm here to get you out of here.
As you walk up to Aurora, before you say that, she actually looks at you for a second and kind of squints her eyes and just, what? And then you say that, and she's, Yvonne?
Yes, I'm in disguise. We have to get out of here.
You're not Yvonne. Yvonne doesn't look like that.
Oh god, Tori can't hear me, can she?
Tori can't. I don't know why she says she's there.
Oh god, okay, that was scary. Okay, sorry.
Yvonne looks different.
Yes, I'm in disguise.
I don't get it.
Look, I can take you back to Captain Thunderbeard.
I like Captain Thunderbeard.
Yes, let's go.
He helped me.
Yes, let's go.
I'm gonna wait until he gets here, or Yvonne gets here.
Can I roll to see if I can persuade her that's me?
Make a persuasion check, sure.
Oh baby, I think that's 12.
She remains in her seat, not moving.
And if I change back to Yvonne, then I'm Yvonne, right? Like spells over.
Once again, Mask of Many Faces invocation says that you can use disguise self at will. So there's no limit on the number of times you can disguise and then undisguise and then redisguise.
Oh. Okay. Well then I undisguise for like just a moment.
You feel the shadow drop from your face as she looks at you. Yvonne!
Shh. Be quiet. And then I like hide myself.
Where did Yvonne go?
Oh shit. Look. You know how Yvonne has magical powers?
Yeah.
Well, right now I'm using them to change my form. I'm pretending to be someone else. It's like a game.
Oh, like that other guy did, where he got really big?
Yes. I mean, no. Kind of.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Ooh. Oh, doggy.
It's 13.
Damn.
I'm waiting for Yvonne.
How can I... Look. God damn it. I transform into Captain Thunderbeard.
Captain Thunderbeard!
Yup, let's go.
Wait.
People didn't see him, like, as much, at least, right?
You aren't... How did you do that?
It's magic.
I didn't think you could do that. If only...
Hold on one sec. Sorry, my parents are... Hold on.
Wow. Oh my god, Jacob, why did you turn into the Demon Lord? Huh. This is the next one.
Okay, fuck. Yar, well I can. Can we go now,
I
please?
thought it was just the water.
What?
You're not Thunderbeard.
Okay, fine. I'm Yvonne. I just changed into Yvonne.
Yvonne!
Yes! I'm here to take you out of here, okay? We need to go, though. These people are very angry with us, and they will kill us if they see me.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah. Look. If I were... Okay. Let me explain something to you. I need to change my form, because if I don't, they'll see me and they'll kill me. Right?
Why don't you just tell them not to?
Oh, why didn't I think of that?
You know, if they do that, they'll get in trouble. Captain Thunderbeard said it's against the law to kill people.
I look for, like, things that I can disguise myself with, like, around the room that, like, may have been left by other prisoners.
Well, this isn't the prison. This is just Volkmar's office. The prison is through the door.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
in the room, you do look over at the pile of just the collected objects from prisoners. You do see a few uniforms hanging on the wall that you might be able to use.
I put on a uniform.
Right. It's a size just too big for you, but you can get it on. It drapes down beneath your feet, though.
All right. Well, let's go. I grab her hand and I go to leave, but then I stop in my tracks and I turn towards Volkmar and his sword. Actually, hold that thought, and I go up. Is it like on his person?
Yes.
Okay, but he's like blackout drunk.
From what you can tell.
Damn. Alright, what is my sleight of hand? Hold on. Vaughn is like looking at it like an inch away. Okay, I have +3. Fuck it. Shit!
Right.
Oh,
As you
no.
attempt to slide the sword out, you slowly bring it out, and it clatters to the floor. Just Volkmar stirs for a second, but remains asleep.
I pick it up and then I grab Aurora's hand. I like hide it somewhere, like it on me. But
As
I don't...
you lay your hand on the sword, you feel this piercing noise head through your head. As you kind of struggle to stand for a second, and then there's just a noise in your head. Who dares touch me?
Yvonne the Great?
You are not my master. You are weak.
Hey, I'm not...
Release me at once. Suffer
I
the
am not-
consequences.
I'm not weak, okay? Look, can swords talk?
How strong are you?
Very.
Really? Because to me, you feel weak.
Oh, well, that's just my
I've
disguise.
seen you, you know. I've heard you. heard your thoughts. I've tasted your blood. It's weak with cholesterol and lethargy.
That's nice.
Couldn't even strike down a little elven girl. You think you can kill the Demon Lord? Release me at once. What I desire cannot be achieved through your hands.
Okay, wait just a second. Why does everyone think that I can't kill the Demon Lord?
I said release me.
Or what?
Make a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's gonna be 15.
Okay.
And the DC is 16. So as you say that, you feel this overwhelming force of personality overtake you as your knees kind of buckle for a second, and almost as if in a daze, you walk over to the table and you take the sword and you stab it in the table. Volkmar stirs again, but he's still asleep. And as you release your hand from the sword, you regain consciousness. Yvonne, what was that?
It was nothing. Look, maybe we should just go then. I grab Aurora's hand and I go.
Alright, you head out of the room.
Yeah.
So, you dash into the hallway, which as of right now is empty.
Do I have like a hat or something?
There were bandanas in the room if you want to take one.
Yeah, I'll take a bandana.
How do you, so do you like tie it like over your head, or what do you do?
Yeah, I take like a few and I tie it all around my face, and then I just keep my head down.
Alright. You walk into the hallway, which as of right now is empty.
Okay, so we're just gonna keep quiet and we're gonna be back to Captain Thunderbeard in no time.
Alright. Thank you. It's kind of weird in there.
I can imagine.
You know, he's not as nice as you, she said as you walk down the hallway.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, like, you don't
you
smell
too.
very good, but he also doesn't smell very good.
I smell fine.
Actually, he kind of smells like you, but at least you're nice and you don't yell at me. So that's good.
Yeah.
You know, earlier when you were doing that thing on the fire, I found a really, like, you weren't there, but it was really, like, there was a bug, and he was, like, pushing a pile of dirt, right? And it was, like, really big. And then like I said, I tried to, like, talk to it, but I couldn't. But it was really big, and he was pushing it, and I tried to ask him why it was pushing the dirt, and he didn't say anything because it was a bug and it couldn't understand me. But I asked it why it was pushing the dirt, and it didn't say anything. But I saw it there and it was pushing the dirt, so like I wanted to talk to it. Okay, as she continues talking, you walk to the door, and as you enter the mess hall, there's still a few people left after the speech, sitting around. A few of them drenching themselves in alcohol. Make a stealth check with advantage. +3, I think. I think you took proficiency in stealth.
Alright, so that's 15.
+2? That doesn't sound right. It's +3,
What?
so that's a 16.
Oh.
Alright. You managed to just make it through the mess hall without anyone really noticing you, despite you taking Aurora with you as you venture through the mess hall, through the hallway, through the antechamber. You stand once again in the wreckage of the front yard. Now, most of the fires have been extinguished, and it's, while still barren and destroyed, it's much more under control, only illuminated by the low torchlight emanating from the gate in front of you as you approach it.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Since it's just you and me, can we retcon something?
We want to retcon.
Can we say that I left a note that says like, haha, fuck you, to like Volkmar from Yvonne?
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, you did that. Well, you didn't say it.
I know.
You can, but you have to go back.
No, okay, never mind. It's not worth it.
Okay, so you did not leave a note to Volkmar. Alright. So once again, you stand in front of the gate.
I knock on the door, and I look for I look for ways to get around it.
All right. There doesn't seem to be any real ways around the gate. It's large. The large wooden gate that surrounds the whole fortress. There's a few men standing on top that kind of stare at you as you inspect the gate. Aurora behind you. Hey,
Is
who are you?
Ah,
That seems to be the only way in. Or out.
my name is Lyle Parrington.
Lyle Parrington?
Yes, I'm a fisherman. I would like to get through.
It's 4 a.m.
Yes, please.
What are you going to do at 4 a.m.?
I'm sorry, I'm half deaf.
I said, what are you going to do at 4 a.m.?
Go fishing, of course. The fish are the most ripe this time of night.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Why disadvantage?
That's an 11. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait until morning to do that.
Well, I'm afraid that's not possible. It's my grandson's birthday tomorrow.
Who's that you got there, behind you?
My granddaughter.
Alright, he's gonna make a perception check with disadvantage because of the low light. Isn't that the girl with the... Wait, who are you?
Lyle Barrington.
He starts to pull out a bow. I'm going to need you to stay down there as he begins climbing down the ladder. The other men slowly begin to pull out their own bows and train them on you.
If I were to pick up Aurora, could I Misty Step?
Misty Step is only you. You also have to be able to see it. Right now the gate is closed.
Okay, I'm gonna... Hold on, I'm gonna take a look at what I have.
He's climbing down the ladder.
Okay, I'm gonna cast... Fuck. I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion. I'm gonna create Yvonne standing somewhere, like, kinda like off and away from me.
Hold on.
No, can't do
I'm
it.
trying to figure out if that works.
Why wouldn't it?
And I guess it'll work, but you have to recognize it doesn't really move.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So you make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Hold on. Sleight of hand is +3. Okay.
Alright. Well, that's more than one of them, so I'll give them advantage. As you reach out your hands and attempt to create the... And, like, you kind of, like, reach out your hand and you do a motion, as an illusion of Yvonne appears.
Look there!
Hold on! What was that you just did with your hands? One of them shouts from above. Yeah, I saw it too! They look at Yvonne, but they kind of have their... Now, they pull up their bows and they begin to load them.
I was just pointing at him.
The one who was climbing down the ladder now finishes his climb, and then he walks up to you, and he draws his sword. I'm sorry, sir, but I'm going to need you to come with me.
No, wait, hold on, look, why can't I just leave? What am I doing? Am I bothering anyone? No.
I'm sure this is all just a misunderstanding, but I'm going to need you to come with me.
Two?
We're going to have to talk to Volkmar about this. I can't risk
No.
this under what has just happened tonight.
Okay, look. Do you want me to be honest?
What?
Well... And I know that this is looked down upon here, but... I was going to go kill some people. Not just any people, traitors. After tonight's display, obviously, people like you and me, we know we need to band together, you know? I used to be a school principal, and you know, all the kids threw stones. But I think after the Cataclysm, we're actually less connected. And look, we need to band together in these hard times. And I was going out to see if I could catch some of those people trying to run away and kill them. And I've seen them too. I've seen at least 3 people escape.
Make a persuasion check. As you say that, you watch his eyes, you watch his hand on his sword slowly drift away, and he's like, he kind of looks at you for a second. He's like, you know what? You're right. Screw this. We're the conspiracy. We don't just take this lying down. You should go out there and take care of those traitors. You know what? We should all go. And he shouts out to his men. Men! Screw guarding the gate. We're going with this one to hunt the traitors. You say you know where they are, correct?
Yes.
What did this girl have to do with it?
Oh well. She pointed out she was the one who pointed out a couple of them to me. I figured that she might know where they went. Her eyes are better than mine.
What? What are we talking about?
I like put my hand on her mouth.
Make another deception check.
No.
Alright then, whatever you say. And men, before you go, he says, watching them. Go get Big John. And you watch as one of them, like, kind of nods and heads back into the door. Don't worry, we'll take them down in a second. Just collect. It'll take us 1 second to get him, and then we'll be able to head out.
Alright then.
And you watch as everyone kind of gets ready, loading their bows, grabbing their swords, ready to head out with you towards the ship. And you watch lumbering towards you from the fortress is the tall, towering figure that you recognize as the half-orc that you spent so much time dealing with earlier. As he walks towards you, each of his footsteps shakes up dust. And he kind of look. He's talking to the man he's walking with before he's approached by the man guarding the gates. Big John, we're going to go take a raid on those traitors. I wouldn't mind. Kind of wanted to take care of them after what they did to me. Who's this? He says, looking right at you. That's the man who inspired us. He's going to take a very long look at you. I need you to make... I guess it would be... What's this guy's? Make a performance check with disadvantage because he's seen you.
Did it roll twice?
It's +4. We'll go up to 8. That's the 12. He looks at you for a second, his eyes looking you up and down. Alright then, let's take care of him. Lead the way, the other man says, as he opens the gate for you.
Alright, let's go. So, since we saw them, me and the girl will take the front.
Alright, says the half-orc. I'll walk alongside you to make sure no one jumps you at night.
Perfect.
Alright. With that, you begin your trek down the mountain. You reach the harbor and what do you do?
Um, are there any wooded areas around?
It's mostly just like the side of the rock because it's like a passage.
Damn it. Okay. I size up some of them to see if do any of them look fast.
Well, the half-orc is right next to you, and he's keeping a pretty careful watch on you. Besides that, they don't necessarily seem fast, but each of them is holding loaded crossbows, and you're not sure you can get away. Especially not with Aurora.
And under the passage is just like water, right?
Yeah, you're essentially walking along the side of a rock face. So the passage is just like one rock face on either side. You can't see the other side of the passage due to the mist, and you're essentially like walking along the side of one of the two rock faces along a carved out path.
I know that there's like water under me, right?
Not under you, to your left. To your right is just a tall stone wall.
I start going like a little bit closer to the side, where the water is, and I'm like, I'm like, all right. Yvonne is nervous about this, but he just goes like, whoa, and he grabs Aurora and then falls off the side.
Make an acrobatics check.
Oh baby.
1 second.
Acrobatics is +1.
Alright. As you begin to sail off the side, the half-orc grabs you by the shoulder and pulls you back up, despite your attempts to get out of his grasp. With Aurora in hand, he just kind of looks at you. Whoa, that was kind of clumsy. I'll hang on to you for now, as he wraps his hand around your shoulder as you continue walking.
Oh, thanks, buddy. So how far have we gone?
You're about halfway there.
And that's where the ship is, or
Yes.
fuck? But haste like hid the ship, right?
Well, kind of.
Oh damn it!
Like, you hid the ship as well as you can, and like a passage where all there is two stone walls on either side of you.
I try to make a joke so that his grip will lessen on me.
All right.
So like maybe he'll laugh and then like he'll stop holding on to me or something.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I'm just like, hey, you want to hear a joke?
All right.
All right. So there are two muffins in an oven, right? And one of them goes, "Boy, it sure is hot in here," and the other one goes, "Gee whiz, a talking muffin?"
Make a performance check with disadvantage.
Oh, I disadvantage.
He doesn't find a lot of stuff funny. What's an oven?
You know, I have another joke.
Let's just walk in silence.
Yep. Okay. Here goes nothing. Yvonne, try. Okay, would he be able to see? Does everyone see if I cast a spell?
Depends. If it's verbal or somatic, you have to make a sleight of hand check. You have to make a sleight of hand check.
Okay, I'm gonna cast You know what? I'm gonna cast blindness and deafness, and then try the same like fall thing
On who?
on the orc. He's the only one who's like super like next to me, right?
Yes. Okay. So as you continue to walk, he's kind of under your breath. Speak. This isn't somatic, so you can just do it. Under your breath, speak a word, and he makes a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
And you watch as all of a sudden he's kind of stops in place. He's like, "What the hell? Where are we?" And he's kind of his hand lists from you for a second.
It's so dark. Whoa! And then I grab Aurora and I do the thing.
Alright. You grab Aurora and jump off the side as you find yourself thrust in the midst of the icy water. As you find yourself in the midst of the icy water.
What the hell? I thought a bird was gonna pick us up or something.
Make an athletics check.
Oh baby. That's +1.
Where do you go? Because you managed to swim through it with Aurora in your other arm as she kind of struggles in the water a bit and yells out. What do you do?
I try and make it to land somewhere that might be like lower than where they all were.
Alright. You do manage to climb onto the side of the rock face. Above you, you spot the shadowy forms of the half-orc and the men. You kind of see them talking.
I try and quiet Aurora. I tell her like, hey, it's okay. Just be quiet.
Make a persuasion check.
No.
What? She yells out loud, and you hear a voice above you suddenly look down and say, "There they are! Get them quick before they get cold."
Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna charm Aurora.
Alright, that's your other spell slot.
Yeah.
Aurora makes a wisdom saving throw and fails terribly, and it's under your charm.
Hey, just be quiet, all right? We're gonna be okay. And I try and shimmy my way down like the rock face to try and get away.
Okay, you're pretty low on it, so it's essentially just like there's essentially just like a few inches and then water.
Okay, well, if I have to keep swimming, I'll keep swimming until I find somewhere that's farther away.
You get back in the water and you begin to swim away. Hey, what are you doing? As you begin swimming away into the water, where do you go?
I just go as far as I can.
All right, where?
I guess to the ship, unless they're following me.
So you're gonna try to swim all the way to the ship?
At least swim like to the point where like I know that they aren't like I can't hear them anymore.
You swim on the you swim alongside the stone wall until you get away from them. Make another athletics check.
Okay. Oops. Oh god, what did I just click on? Alright, that's 13.
You manage to, despite the rough waters, you continue swimming until eventually their voices are in the distance and you get up alongside the rock wall with Aurora.
Alright, let's keep going. We're almost there.
Alright. What do you do?
I just hold her hand and I like lead her back to the ship.
You and Aurora slowly climb back up the stone wall and make your way onto the ship, which is just docked along the side of the stone passage in the darkness.
Okay. Listen, I don't ever tell Captain Thunderbeard about any of this. You understand?
I tell Captain Thunderbeard everything. That's what he asked me to do.
No, please don't.
Why not? She's still charmed by you. I guess, but okay, whatever you want.
Hey, what is your deal with Captain Thunderbeard anyway?
My deal?
Yeah, like, is he like your dad?
Alright. Mood music.
Oh, damn.
That's not it. Sorry.
That's alright.
God.
What?
She's trying to find. Alright, she kind of looks at you. Her eyes vacant for a second as she stares at you weirdly. Overcome by the effects of the charm, you watch as she sort of, her eyes, her voice kind of takes on a strange monotone-like presence. Well, I've known him for a while now.
This whole thing is not going to be good without mood music. I hope you know it.
I can't find the song. Alright, well, she's just kind of looking at you. You get the idea. Wish I knew what this song was called. Got it. Alright, hold on. I mean, I've known him for a while now. It was after the Cataclysm. My family was attacked. Something that could break the curse. He saved me. He found me alone. There was no one else there. They'd all been killed. And he took me in from the rubble.
Oh, I mean, not because of the Cataclysm, right?
No, this was after. We ran to the land of the flood to run, but it chased us. The man, and he stared at us, and there was water, and...
What, combustion?
No, not combustion. He was different. He could change his face. Kind of like you, I guess.
Oh.
He could change his face, and he there was water and it went through them. And then they fell over and they didn't talk anymore. Thunderbeard said they didn't work anymore, they were tired, they needed to take a break, and I had to go.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's probably past your bedtime.
I want to see them again. Thunderbeard says I can't anymore. I have to help him now. We have to help each other, that's what he says. He says we're alike. We're both outcasts with something good inside that we need to use to help make the world right. And with that, considering how long it would have taken you to get back, the effect of the charm slowly fades from her face. Well, good night! And she walks downstairs and heads back below deck as you're left alone The slowly moving ship, rocking back and forth, anchored to the ground, but still moving with the waves.
Yvonne just kind of like sits like in the grass, like in front of the ship, and he has a lot to think about. And he's one of the topics is he keeps thinking back to everyone saying that he wouldn't be able to kill the demon lord. It confuses him.
As you sit on the grasp, it's kind of nice and soft, and eventually, after a long day, sleep finds you. So you're asleep now?
Yeah.
Alright.
Can that be a long rest?
Yeah, this is a long rest.
Yes.
Alright. You're alone. You dream, but nothing truly worth mentioning. It's another one of your dreams. It's par for the course. Tendrils of Valtazo wrap around you. There's darkness, and eventually there's a man standing in the fire like usual. But when the man goes away, just as you're beginning to see more of the man, as per usual, he disappears. And where the flames once were, there's a table in the darkness.
I'm also here now.
I know, Sully.
Is Navarro's here?
Not yet. Right now, it's just you.
Oh. God. Can't I just sleep? Stupid Butazo. I mean, no, I love you.
Alright, as you approach the table, Navarus, it's been a while since you last had this happen to you. Right now, you just got out of the fortress, and you and your companions are taking a long rest wherever you might choose to take a long rest in the next session.
This is the first night of sleep after the...
Yes, everything that has happened in the fortress has happened.
Okay.
And
yeah,
well, your dreams are a little nicer, as they often are. You're plagued by everything that just happened to you again. However, you see the demonic forms of the two creatures with the piercing eyes in your dreams, and for a second you worry that you're in another one of their illusions, but they disappear to form the decaying, decrepit form of Hellwing as he stands over you and he speaks to you again. You feel his voice pour out of his mouth. He does, without even moving, as he just kind of stares at you, his piercing green eyes dripping with the disease. I know you, Navarus. You're on the council. You must obey me. And you watch as his form transforms into a black dragon as he stares down at you. And suddenly his teeth are around you and you're falling down, and you land in a bed of vines that slowly begin to snake their way around your form until you're bound in the darkness. Slowly, however, you're able to move, although you're not sure if it's you moving or the vines, as you slowly stand up and they begin to wrap around you, flowing into your skin, becoming a part of you. You're alone in the darkness, and there's the table.
And I see...
Oh, nope. You just see the table. As you approach it's the table in darkness.
Okay.
There are 5 torches.
So yeah, I'll approach the table.
Yeah. The 4 of the torches surround it, and one of the torches is at the center of the table, illuminating it in dim light.
Can I see Yvonne?
As you approach the table, you spot Yvonne.
Long time no see.
Oh, hey Navarez. Look,
I'll pull out a chair and sit down.
I'm turning over a bit of a new leaf, and so I guess I'm supposed to be sorry for what I said to you earlier.
Well, we'll just cut it here and say apology accepted.
Yeah, I know. You know, I did actually, I did a thing that is pretty cool, cause this time it wasn't for me. So like I snuck back in, and I got the girl back. You know.
What you mean? You got
Well, no,
You
that's
like
good.
what?
Or that's good.
you you acquired a woman?
No, she was traveling with our party. I don't care for her. I mean, who just joined?
Oh, that's a hard no.
Carson, you gotta go.
That's a hard no. Yeah, get out.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't like her. Well, I mean, actually, well, you know, she might. I can kind of relate to her in some way, but you know, like she was with our party, and like I got her back after she got kidnapped, which was my fault. But like what I did was selfless. You might even call me a hero at this point. I can't wait for the party to wake up so I can tell them.
Now I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, that's very good for you.
As you
Yeah.
both sit in the darkness, another figure slowly approaches the table. You watch as he shuffles up, not even above the height of the table on the ground. As he hops on the chair, and you see the top of his forehead. Hello, chaps. So this is the table, huh?
Sure is, buddy.
Oh, I could build a better table than this. The right leg looks a little off center, if you know what I mean. And there's no counterbalance. Oh, this Balthazar fellow certainly doesn't know how to pick a table.
You know, it's funny. There's a new person in your seat every time I come here.
It is funny.
Well, that'll be changing. You'll be seeing more of me. The name's Stonebrick. How about you, old chaps?
Name's Yvonne the Great.
You call me Navaris.
My name is Stonebrick. You may have heard of some of my many inventions. I fare from Auckland, the city which now floats in the sky, and I do tell you, it's quite a sight for sore eyes these days. But do not worry, I plan on going many places.
So what?
Do not be fooled by my appearance. I'm not just looks, you know. I have brains too. I plan on heading to Solberth Castle tomorrow and storming it by force, taking it down and killing the Demon Lord, and maybe we'll have a cup of coffee and enjoy it later that day.
That's very noble of you, little guy.
Oh, well, it would be. You know, you might have heard of some of my inventions. The wobble stick, that was me.
The wobble stick. Oh, I know the wobble stick.
No, you don't.
I know.
Oh, good. You know what
Really
they say.
cool stick.
You know what they say. When
Wait,
water
what?
comes a washing, you need a bit of wobbling. Wobble stick.
Navarez, you
They
know
do
what
say
the
that.
wobble
I
stick
even say
is?
that. Of
No,
course I do.
What is it? I don't know.
Well, it's a stick with that wobbles. And
I mean, in layman's terms, sure.
well, you know, they don't hire me here for my terms. You know.
Maybe they should.
All right, where is he?
He hasn't arrived yet. Neither has Resnan.
I'll like lean back in my chair and start like tapping my foot.
Hey, where's the grumpy one?
He's around. I think I have an idea.
Slowly, darkness begins to grow around the table. Tendrils of it snake between the legs, wrapping around it like vines, as you watch a dark shadow essentially form on the chair at the front of the table. Where we once thought there was a chair, fades into the form of a large creature. Tendrils alone, as a simple white smile appears in the darkness.
Just the man I wanted to see.
Oh, I imagined I might be. Although I must say, I personally am more interested in seeing you.
Well, what piques your interest this time?
Oh, plenty. Why, I've come into many new developments that I see as important. Slowly, you watch his form shift as he kind of takes on a more comfortable position.
Wait, I'm confused.
What?
Is this
This is Balthazar.
Oh, okay.
There's not much to discuss today pertaining to you, he says, pointing to Stonebrick. In fact, you may leave. I'd rather talk to these two alone. Alright, old chaps, I'll be seeing you! As he just kind of fades into the darkness.
No, you
See you
won't.
next week, Stony. Good luck with that stick.
Thank you. Now, I'd like to make this brief, if possible.
Yeah, me too.
I understand you have a lot to get back to, but there's a lot to discuss. I've spoken to Resdom.
The grumpy guy?
I suppose so. He has taken on a mission of his own, much to my displeasure.
I'd imagine.
I prefer to have those who work for me do what I command, and in most circumstances they will. But he is proving to be quite tenacious. I've already told my minions that if they spot him, they have every right to kill him. Navarre, you may be interested to know, but he is currently after the deceased member of your group named Develian.
Would you happen to know if he is aware of his lateness?
From our last conversation, I don't believe he is.
And you didn't inform him?
Didn't seem necessary.
That's acceptable.
He's on the warpath. Humans, when they get ideas in their brains, they'll carry them out no matter what intelligent force in their brain tells them otherwise. The only way we can control it sometimes is through the withholding of information. Now, he is coming, and when he comes, he may try to kill you.
He may.
When we last spoke, I gave you the right to kill him. I'm afraid I must rescind that. I order you to kill him.
Well,
let me make myself as clear as possible, because apparently my words can be misconstrued by those of a weak mind. If you do not kill Resdom later when you see him, you and I will have differences. And where there are differences, I may be forced to act out of turn.
well, I'll tell you, you won't meet a man with a stronger mind than mine.
Yvonne like leans back in his chair and wonders if he can sleep twice. He tries.
Be
Well,
mindful of your position here. You remain with the power and the influence that you have, because I have chosen, against my better judgment, to take you on as my apprentice.
well, it's paid off for you so far, so.
I must say this to both of you. I worry that exposure to these other humans may give you doubts. If you ever feel yourself doubting my power, then I implore you to return to the land of the plague and visit my altar. If you do, I will be sure to snuff those doubts out, as I implored Resdom I would. However, if you choose not to return to my altar, I will have no choice but to send my agents after you.
Well, that shouldn't be necessary.
Yeah, I don't have any doubts. What? No.
I will kill Reston.
Perfect.
I can assure you that.
Perfect.
I'll also kill him if I see him.
Yvonne, now we must move to you. It's been a week now, and what exactly have you accomplished?
What have I accomplished? Are you kidding?
Do you know where the Demon Lord is yet?
Oh, well. Do I know where the Demon Lord is? No. But have I done a lot? Yes. Like I fought Volkmar and
Who's Volkmar?
Oh, you might want to keep an eye out on him. He's planning to take over the world at some point in the foreseeable future.
Well, Yvonne, there's one development I must inform you of. Under most circumstances, I would not allow this to fly, as it goes against my very beliefs. But I have been forced into a position that I do not quite enjoy, where I am torn between two things. I am not one who is usually torn, and the feeling remains ever so uncomfortable.
Torn about what?
I was approached recently by a woman who asked for your position.
What?
Normally I wouldn't entertain such a blatant display of free will, but she is obedient and powerful and near willing to do anything I ask, and well, she has a group of high-ranking people without any doubt in their minds about her, despite her affiliation with me. And
right.
While you are a long-standing member of my council, Yvonne, you've been gone for a long time, and well, you haven't returned to my altar in a while, and I worry that you've grown complacent and weak.
No, of course not. You don't want to replace me.
I hope you can understand why I'm torn on this issue.
Yvonne sits up in his chair. Yes, of course, but
I don't like being torn. So
well, I'll
I
make the decision
implore you,
for you
to kill her.
Kill her.
Or let her kill you.
No, not that. Look, Baltazzo, I really think that the answer is a lot easier than you think it is, because if you take my powers away, I'll die. So I think, if anything, I am far more deserving of them than anyone else.
He's silent for what feels like forever, before he finally speaks again.
Snowbar is coughing.
Oh no.
Kill her, and the issue resolves itself. Fail to do so, and well, the issue resolves itself.
But Baltazzo, I am pretty strong, but you said she was strong.
Her name is Sparks.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Well then, that's all I had for today. You know what to do. Yes.
One more thing. If we're throwing things we believe you should have on your radar on the table here, I don't know how often and persistently you really keep your eyes out on me. Would you have happened to catch what was recently released? Because it may be something of concern to you.
I'm aware of your
I just wanted to make
recent
sure.
failure.
It wasn't
And
my
don't
failure.
doubt-
It was a failure.
And I hope you understand. And don't doubt that it doesn't factor into my understanding of you. For the time being, we'll wait and watch his actions and act accordingly. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's rather loud in here, and I need to return to my quiet. And you feel the tendrils that snaked around the table slowly fade away, and as they retract, you feel each of you feel a tendril that had been snaked around you that you hadn't even noticed retract and slide back down below. And slowly the form of Valtazo disappears from the table.
Huh.
Looks like you gotta get back on that horse, Yvonne.
Shut up. Say, Navarez,
Yes?
how do you handle getting attached to your crew?
Well, you try not to, but under the circumstances you do, try to not let them die.
Right.
If they do, then you move on.
What do you think happens when this whole thing is over?
What do you mean over?
Well, once we've killed all the demon lords, I mean... Well, isn't Baltazo just going to spread his plague? What's going to happen to our friends?
Well, if we make it that far,
Well, I know I'll
we
make
should-
it far.
we should have some respectable standing with what at that point will be the most powerful thing on the continent. And we could probably discuss a few exceptions to whatever it is he means to lay waste to everything with.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
It's nothing a little negotiation can't handle, I'd assume.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Do you have a plan?
In terms of...
How are you gonna find that thing?
Yeah, I have a plan.
Good to hear.
Yep.
And on that, I'm gonna stand up and push my chair out.
Alright. Navarus, you leave the table.
Have a good night, Yvonne.
You too.
As you walk away from the table, you find yourself once again in whatever place your party happened to sleep. And you return to that.
Thunder Mountain.
Yvonne, you're alone at the table.
Well. Alright. I'll see you later, Baltazo. Maybe next time we should nothing too heavy. Let's play cards or something. This is a good table. And then I just disappeared.
Yvonne, you return to the grass below, and as you fall asleep, you're luckily not plagued by any more dark dreams, and you wake up fully rested after a long 8 hours of sleep alone, only to find a crossbow pressed against your chest. And as your eyes suddenly dart open, you see two figures standing over you as the half-orc slowly approaches you and puts his hand over your mouth. And he stares down at you, and you watch his teeth curve into a grin as he understands who you are. We're all in this together, right? So we're gonna end that.
No,
You're not allowed to tell anyone about that.
No, you bitch.
But that's how the next one of your adventures is gonna start.
Matt, did I do okay?
You did pretty well.
Did I do okay?
Besides leading an angry group of rebels directly to your ship, you did a pretty good job.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
How did I do that? I thought
Well-
I was really sneaky.
Well, that's them.
What?
That's them, because, you know, it's kind of like a path, and they just kind of walk to your ship.
Well, What else was I supposed to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you did a pretty good job overall.
Did my change in motivation make sense?
Yeah. So yeah. So you guys have your own stuff going on. What's gonna happen with Sparks? Ooh.
Who knows? So, oh boy.
Sully, do you know about Sparks?
I don't.
Well, now you do.
Or do I? Ooh.
Maybe Sully should fight Sparks, and I'll fight Navarre. I'll fight fucking.
As
Yeah, he was taking a quick detour.
Yeah, Avon's about to die, and then Navarre swoops in and kills Sparks.
I fly in on my horse.
Alright, well, with that, I'm gonna go back to the other chat. It was good doing this with you, Yvonne.